when we do the yard, I really want to have a good trash can enclosure where the trash cans are hidden, but it's still convenient to both put the garbage in it.
We need to fence them in.
And get them to the street.
I love those little, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think they look so great. I love them. Trash is an eyesore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Don't have to, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready? Who said that? Some boxer.
Sonny Liston.
Was it him?
No idea. Made that up.
Sounds like the Hulk. He's always angry.
He's always angry?
That's the thing. That's his thing.
You don't have,
That's his secret.
you don't have to, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I think it was a boxer. All right, ready? Welcome back to another episode of Two Parents in a Podcast. Hello, Harrison.
Hello, Alex.
I got to give it to you. I love your outfit today.
Thank you. Thank you. I love yours.
Thank you. You're wearing the tie-dye. This is not an ad. The tie-dye Elwood. I actually would love to do something with Elwood because I love their sweatsuits.
I agree. It is a brand that I bought for the first time probably 3 to 4 years ago and haven't made a purchase since up until last week and rediscovered how much I love it.
Well, because Nordstrom had them IRL.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what happened.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh no, I forgot. Nordstrom DM'd me and they scheduled that lunch for us at the Domain because Bubbers went and got shoes there.
Bubber shoes.
No, we didn't go.
We'll make sure to get it firmed up on the calendar.
Okay, I must DM them. Please don't let me forget.
Okay.
Wow,
Perfect.
that's just a complete. Okay, I also have a coffee tomorrow morning because I want to start volunteering.
Okay, who with?
It's called the Jeremiah House here in Austin.
Okay, please share.
Well, what attracted me to it was you can sponsor families, which I'm like really into. So I don't know. I'm going to coffee with 2 girls tomorrow to hear more about it. And then I'm volunteering on the 21st. I'm going to put together education kits for kids.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, I really want to start volunteering.
Okay, can I join?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Not the coffee tomorrow.
You know, my mom also does the education kits for kids.
Does she?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell her. So actually, let's talk about moms coming to town.
Okay.
And okay, so Harrison has been traveling. He traveled last week and he's traveling again this week. My mom came last week. His mom comes this week. Because it's very important to you that I have a babysitter, he says.
No.
Kind of. Well, no, more so that Tate has a babysitter. That's who it is. Because you never know what my night's going to look like. Like last night, I can't say it. I ate the sandwich. Do you want to say which one it was? Oh, my God.
The viral Jersey Mike sandwich.
Yeah, I ate that.
A little ASMR from Jules.
Let me tell you what, the way that I think I threw up Harrison was rubbing my back while I was puking it up. I don't think it was chewed at all. It was almost as though the entire sandwich, because I ate the whole thing, the entire sandwich just at one point came up, and I was like, huh.
So I think in all time, I mean, you are throwing up all the time right now. It is like actually heartbreaking how consistent it is. But to find the light in it, I think one of the funniest things about the situation, and you're like, focus on cleanliness. If Alex goes to throw up and there's anything in the garbage,
Even a gum wrapper,
she's like, it's gross. I need a different garbage can to throw up in.
I love my garbage can.
The particularness of throwing up into a clean garbage can, where it's also like
No toilets.
Pardon?
No toilets.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I don't know if this is too niche, but did you guys have the popcorn bowl that you threw up into?
I did that the other day. My mom, that's what she gave me. I drank a liquid IV equivalent, and I was like, this is coming up. And she gave me, it wasn't a popcorn bowl, but it's our big mixing bowl.
It might be like a Midwestern thing, but you just like have your like puke popcorn bowl when you were a kid.
Maybe that's why she gave me that.
People will know.
Oh.
She gave me the bowl, and what was great about this time was with every layer, she put a paper towel over it so I couldn't see it.
But with that, like they're not seeing it. Where it surprises me is like when I'm and do you want to not talk about throwing up? Like what makes
No,
you throw
I
up?
think we shouldn't.
Okay. Here's how
I can't
sensitive
imagine
it
the
is.
listeners enjoying it.
Yes, and I think if we got into one or two more exchanges, I do think you would throw up on set.
Yeah, so let's move on. Okay, so Harrison last week he went to LA and he was so concerned about me. He was supposed to go Thursday morning. He needed to go Wednesday night. And he was like, I feel like you were kind of waiting on my, like I kept saying, go Wednesday night, I'm fine. And so he booked his flight 40 minutes ahead of time, went to the airport and went. But he only went when he could tell like I was comfortable, taken care of, and fed.
Yeah, well, I wanted to make sure that there were no delays because flights have been wonky, that your mom wasn't delayed getting into town. And so like once she arrived and then I looked at flights and saw that, okay, I can get out on a flight in, it was like an hour and 10 minutes from departure.
Oh, to be a guy. The way you packed, and you packed great outfits. We went and did some shopping for Harrison. It was very fun. And the beauty of Harrison is, like, your suitcase is still packed in our bedroom, but you still had the Nordstrom sack just perfectly folded. He hadn't taken out any of the clothes yet, so he just pulled out 2 outfits and then just left.
And we know he doesn't wash them before, so.
Doesn't wash them, doesn't need to.
I mean, who would?
I agree.
Me.
Yeah, no, but in all seriousness, like it's with how hard this first trimester is hitting you. Like it's really important to me that you're taken care of and you don't feel like you're being left and
You've taken such good care of me.
but and then on the other end, like when you are, there's some work stuff going on last week in this between conferences and
Chicago
trade
this
shows.
week.
Yeah.
Chicago, you're going to Chicago this week. Very fun. I wanted to go. So like I have FOMO. I want to go to LA and I want to go to Chicago, but I can't go. And
I will tell you, this event in LA, a lot of people's partners were at.
don't tell me that.
It was way more social than I ever expected.
Did you miss me?
Of course. Like it was a very, very
Fun.
it was a fun event, and it was like a lot of couple action. It was our first time ever going.
It was entrepreneurs.
It was called Founderland. Yeah, it was a bunch of entrepreneurs who were hosted by a big venture capital fund.
That's really fun. It was at Calamigos Ranch. Like I would have loved to have gone. And then Chicago also, like I would love to go to Chicago, especially this time of year. I was thinking a lot about it though. I think the best time, hindsight on this, to leave a baby, to leave a kid, is the 0 to 6 month range because they don't change that much. They're just kind of chilling. Whereas right now, Tate's 1, and if you leave Tate, you come back and like she learned a new word. She's
When
saying
you say
ball.
leave, you mean travel?
Yeah, like leave them for a night.
I totally disagree.
What do you think is the best time to leave a baby?
I think that 0 to 6 months, like looking back on it, like emotionally, I like really struggled with leaving her overnight. And I think the core driver of that was like the like there was so much concern over those early months. Like I didn't feel ready. And I think, in the 1 or 2 times I did, I remember just like the nervousness that ensued. Also, like it's so easy to travel with her over that time.
Do you know what I think that is though? I actually think it's the first kid.
Okay.
I think maybe that will go away with babies 2, 3, and 4, but God willing we have those, but at least baby number 2, let's say. But I do also think one thing that I've noticed that I'm doing, like right now, you saying it was hard to leave 0 to 6 months. I remember specifically saying, I never want to leave this kid for the first year of her life because I'm like so obsessed with her.
Yeah.
And I've had revisionist history on a lot of things, pregnancy and her first year of life. Like I'm remembering them very differently than they happened.
Yeah. I mean, feels like.
And like this first trimester is so much worse than my last trimester. My friends are like, this is the exact same first trimester you had last time. You just don't remember it.
Yeah, it feels very, very similar from an outsider's perspective. But then leaving her now, like while I miss her so much when I'm away from her for a night, I have a lot of like comfort in her routine. Like she's on a program now, and like she wakes up and like she's got a great bedtime routine, and she's got consistent with sleeping, and she gets to go play with Winnie. And
No, I've been thinking a lot about this age, and everyone says when you have kids, every age gets better. And all we have is up to this 1 year mark right now. But I am obsessed with 1-year-olds because number one, they're like mini and they're trying to learn how to figure out their legs to walk around. And watching them learn that they can walk is the most precious thing on the planet. And they try so hard. Like they see how we do things and they want to show up in the world too, but they don't really know how yet. So they're trying to eat. They're trying to be like, bah, 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 and they have this sweet little melody of a voice. Like when she talks, I want to bottle it up and inject it into my brain forever because it's the sweetest little voice.
Do you know what it was for me last night? Is I served a prime rib, and I sent a text to Alex Koss being like one of the greatest joys of fatherhood is watching my daughter eat prime rib, and she's just like devouring prime rib, and I'm enjoying it. And then she's like, she eats so much, it's crazy, but she's like halfway through it and she goes agua, and like you just see her brain register like I need water. And so like I like forgot to put the water in, like I get her the little cup, and then she just like starts howling down the water, and like seeing her brain now process like she wants to wash it down was precious. And then she just gets right back into her meat.
No, that melts my heart because she doesn't have a lot of tools in the arsenal, okay? She's got agua, ball, baby. She knows anything littler than her is a baby, or a doll is a baby, or like a ratatouille the other day is a baby. And then she's got dada. And dada is mom, dada, anybody that will hold her at the time, like her most safe person in the room.
I think it's comfort.
Is dada. And she uses those, and other than that, she just ba-ba-dee-da-ba, and we just try to figure it out.
I do have a question for you.
What?
But I know you're not going to give me the honest answer.
I will.
I think I'm dada 80% of the time.
100% you are. When you were gone, she noticed you were gone. I promise you.
So I think that dada serves two purposes. I think it serves me, and I think it serves comfort. But like I feel like when we both walk in a room.
Oh, she's like, dada, dada?
I think she looks at me and says dada.
100% she does. She knows you. So she knows you are dada number one.
Well, I don't want to say that.
No, but she does.
No,
she knows that. She knows that you define, like you are her definition of dada. And then from there, the way you make her feel, she applies it to other people. But you are the true north of dada. No question. She's had her mama phases and she'll have more. I'm not worried about that one bit. We're on the same team.
I don't want this to be any
we're on the same
discrediting
team.
for you.
It's not. I don't feel discredited.
Yeah. This is, it feels like that's my take.
But Harrison, you are doing
No, come on.
No, but
Come on.
But H, you're doing like last night. I tried to stand up. Maria left at 5, and I went downstairs, and the neighbors were like, "We will take takes." Like I couldn't get up. So you're putting her to bed. She woke up at 5. You get her. Like you're spending a lot of time with her right now. Which, can I tell you? Actually, this is how this episode is going to be, how pregnancy is affecting our relationship. But I have to say this first. Last night, I had like a pretty good amount of guilt missing, because I love this stage right now. I love sitting and playing with her. But because I don't feel good because I'm pregnant, I've had a lot of guilt of missing watching this phase. And that made me really, really sad. And I thought...
Sorry.
Well, I thought I am sad about this, but I'm really blessed and thankful to be growing the next baby, because we always talk about our Thanksgiving table in 25 years. And I know it's a short-term sacrifice, but I thought, wow, I am really sad that I'm too sick to go sit in there and play with her and watch her eat, watch her talk, watch her play.
I do want to remind you of something you said on a prior episode of the night you gave birth. And it was, what would you tell yourself at the beginning of pregnancy? And you said you'd give yourself a big hug, and you say give yourself grace and don't be hard on yourself. And you have been a part of so many of Tate's memories so far. You've been such an amazing mother that like whatever is happening now is like peanuts in comparison of what the previous months have looked like and what the future months will look like. So and I think I think you're telling yourself a story in your head that you're missing way more than you are, because you still are also very present with her. So I don't want to,
No, I know
I
I'm
want
present.
you to feel good about that.
But I think two things can be true at the same time. Listen, I think I'm a great mom. I'm really proud of myself. I didn't know how I would show up in motherhood, and I'm very proud of how I have. But two things can be true at the same time. I am sad. Last night when I was in bed at 7, I was sad about that. Because I do miss sitting down and playing with her. But I agree with you. Like I did, I gave it all I had while I felt good, and that was great.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go. And here's the reality of it. I was gonna go down at some point with pregnancy number 2, and we knew that. So even if I had gotten pregnant when she was 2 years old, I would have felt this way, then too. So it's just, hopefully I start to
And
feel
she loves
better.
you.
Well,
You're number 1.
thank you. We always say
Mama's
mama's
number
number
one.
1.
That's number 2.
Cooler days call for layers that last, and Quince is my go-to for quality essentials that feel cozy, look refined, and don't break the bank. You guys know I'm obsessed with my Black and Now cream cashmere sweater from there, and it is the same quality as the really expensive ones on the market, but these did not break the bank, and I'm telling you, they are the exact same. And the way Quince does it is they partner direct with factories, they cut out the middleman, and they pass on the savings to consumers like you and I. Also, think $50 Mongolian cashmere plus denim that fits like a dream, and luxe outerwear that you'll want to wear year after year, you guys. I've been eyeing their wool coats. They are so cute. They are so chic, and they look designer level, but they don't have the price tag. It's the kind of wardrobe upgrade that feels smart, stylish, and super effortless, you guys. I'm telling you, go browse their website. You will have your jaw on the floor, and the prices will be like unbelievable. Find your fall staples at Quince. Go to quince.com/Alex for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Alex to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Alex. So pregnancy on our relationship is what we're going to dive into now, and how it's affected our relationship and the differences between pregnancy 1 versus pregnancy 2, managing conflict, how we handle that now, managing roles. So the first thing is there's obviously been a drastic shift in our lives, right? Because we had found our new normal, and I call it our new normal because once we had Tate, everything was different. But we had found what I think you and I call our stride now, having kids. And we probably existed in that for 4 months, and we loved it. Like, we really were in our routine with her. We had Maria coming. We had the neighbors. We had the schedule. We had our workout schedules. We had our work schedules. It was great. We were vibing. And then now when I get pregnant, I think that puts us back into, I don't want to call it the trenches, puts us back into pregnancy mode.
Yeah, we got to refine the new norm.
So yeah, exactly. To refine the new norm. And so I say that to set the stage of things are now different on our relationship. And pregnancy hits everybody differently, right? Some people in the first trimester take it in stride. What I do think a lot of people struggle through the first trimester, though. And I'm in the second trimester now, and I haven't quite turned that corner, but I get a lot of messages of people saying like, hey, I turned it at 18 to 20 weeks. I never really turned the corner with Tate, but I'm hopeful that I will. I'm like, come on, I know we're going to do it. So all that to say, our relationship, and I think a lot of relationships take not a hit, but they turn the corner and they have a drastic change.
Yeah, I totally agree. We had a great new norm, and now we're finding our new norm for the next 9 months before things reset again.
And so let's talk about some positives before we get into what's been hard in managing conflict.
Okay.
And for me, the number one positive of this is I feel completely taken care of by you, which removes a lot of pressure and anxiety from me because I got plenty of that going on my own. And so having a partner that you validate a lot of my feelings. You rub my back when I throw up, which is the number one thing that I need that done for me. And you do the heavy lifting of Bubs. Like, you have a full work day, and then you come home in the morning and the nights, and like you fully take care of her. And that, I cannot tell you how far it goes with me.
Well, thank you. I think on my end, one of the many positives that that pregnancy brings to our relationship is watching you, and I'm going to steal your word, but like watching you, take on this physical toll of creating a new child, seeing how much it affects you and seeing you do it with such pride and positive outlook, because that's what you need to do for our family. And it's really beautiful to see. And so I think it's actually you taking care of our family by growing the child, which then is what gives me, which puts so much fire in me to try and take care of everything else.
I will say, like, I was thinking about this, the positives, and I am so excited for April. Like, I can't wait because, again, the Thanksgiving table, like, bringing another baby into the world, and I do say that with, like, I am still nervous. I'm going to be nervous the whole pregnancy. I think that a lot of people will understand that, but, like, God willing that we do bring the baby into the world, like, I am so excited for that.
And I think that, for me, like, there's a mindset of really appreciating every chapter and every phase. And obviously that's much easier for me to say because I'm not the one where the physical toll is hitting me. But like last night, for example, like, I found a ton of joy in last night. And the joy was, in I at the end of the night, I was sitting there. I just brought you steak. I just brought you turkey burgers, mashed potatoes, and cauliflower, made you the frozen lemonade, had a fun little evening with Bubs, put her to bed, and I was sitting downstairs watching Monday Night Football while you're relaxed, eating your food, watching a movie. Bubs is asleep. I've got my Michelob Ultra Zero in hand. And I was just like, this is a really special phase of life. And while it's different, it's really special. While obviously feeling for you and
No, but we have. A couple things have happened. I found my show, The Diplomat. I needed to find my show because it distracts me from how I feel.
Okay.
Like, I can't sit in bed and scroll. So
Yeah.
that's the number one thing. But it was great last night. Harrison and I, we text each other. He's in the basement. I'm in the bedroom. And he's just like, we found our routine now, which is great. You get
Finding-ish.
Finding-ish. But you get her to bed and then you go to the basement. Having the basement is amazing. Okay, I want to move on past the positives.
Okay, but there is an element of guilt in that because even when I'm sitting there and like I'm kind of enjoying that moment, thinking of you upstairs, while in some moments I know you are doing good, and other, like when you're nauseous and sick, there is that guilt.
No, but I'm okay. We're gonna move on to what's hard.
Okay.
This episode is sponsored by Regain Couples Therapy, powered by BetterHelp. You guys know that I have always been a huge proponent of therapy because in life you have to play offense, not defense, and that is no exception when it comes to couples therapy. Everyone likes to remind us that relationships take work, but how do you actually do that work? And one of the best ways to do it is through couples therapy because you get designated time with your partner to talk through things that are happening. Also, you get quality therapists. Regain therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. There's a therapist match commitment. Regain does the initial matching for you and your partner so you guys can do the real work, which is focus on your relationship goals. There's a short questionnaire to help you identify your needs and preferences. And then there's tailored options for your relationship needs, you guys. See why people wish they had tried couples therapy sooner. Visit regain.com/2parents today to get 10% off your first month. That's Regain, REGAIN.com/2parents. Thank you. Okay, so let's move to managing conflict in the relationship during pregnancy and what we did better this pregnancy, what we're doing better this pregnancy than we did last pregnancy. And one thing that I want to touch on first is I think we view it differently because I always say we have such different brains in the way we process things. And I was thinking about it earlier. The way I think about it is I think there's like two ships in the sea, okay? One ship is like our normal living ship, and then one ship is our pregnancy ship, which like we jump to during this phase of life, right? And then whenever it's over, then we go back to the other ship. For you, I think we exist on one ship, and now that things have changed, you try to figure out how to get the ship on the path. Does that make sense?
I totally agree with it, but the only when you say that, where my brain goes is, okay, so we had ship 1 going in a great direction. We just jumped to ship 2. And then my mindset with ship 2 is, okay, what can I do to make ship 2 be as great of a process as possible? Like, how can I make ship 2 as great as possible for you? And that is something that, like, every day I literally make up with the mindset of like, how can I make your life easier and better as you're going through pregnancy? Mm-hmm. And that's something that I'm figuring out.
Well, okay, so the way
did that land?
Yeah, but the way we manage ship 2, so let's call it we're on ship 2 now, because I guess you're agreeing to get off of ship 1 and not have to find the new direction. Yeah. So we're on our second ship over here. And now let's talk about on that ship managing our relationship and conflict during pregnancy. And I think there's 2 things we've learned to do well.
Okay.
Because we did not used to really have these tools. And I think the only reason we're able to do this is because it's our second pregnancy.
Okay.
I think we're a unique case study because we had only known each other 3 months before I got pregnant. So Harrison knew me. And then fast forward, we're 6 months into pregnancy and you had known me longer pregnant than you had not pregnant.
Yeah.
And it's a whole other episode on the gamble that was that we took, but we knew in our hearts it was the right thing to do. But you have to think about how that's a bit like, it's a bit of a mind F-U-C-K, for lack of a better term.
I like that we don't swear on this pod.
I don't know, it's new. I just feel like we stopped doing it. I try not to swear around Bubs now because I say ball, she says ball. So I'm like, well, that could really turn out bad. So all that, I lose my train of thought. Okay, so now, second pregnancy, I think we're more in the mindset of like, okay, we understand how Alex is, and then we understand what hormones can do, what part they can play. And one area where I think you do a really, really, really good job is validating my hormones. For example, the other day, you were in the kitchen cooking, and I was on my way home from the pumpkin patch where the moms had taken the babies. And I had just dropped off the neighbor, and I texted Harrison, please come outside because I had a lot to carry and I need to get Bubs out of the car. And we both have our read receipts on. Harrison had his phone open, and so the text showed up red. And he was in the kitchen like making this prime rib situation in the refrigerator. It looked like he had read the text message. I pull up, and I'm like, he's not outside, but he read it. And I walked inside the house with Bubs, and I was like, hey, Harrison, if I text you when I'm pregnant and I say come outside and help me bring stuff in, can you please come outside and help me bring stuff in? And for him, you could have easily been like, I haven't even seen the text message yet. Like, I didn't even know you were home. His hands were like, he had an apron on and he had meat all in his hands.
I had gloves on.
And instead of explaining that to me, you said, you know what, sweetheart, that makes a lot of sense. And I'll do better next time. And I didn't know it until the next day because he told me, he's like, hey, by the way, I didn't even see the text message.
I'm very confused at the read. I don't know how the read went on.
I don't either, but sometimes it just happens. Maybe you clicked it. I don't know. Maybe you had my text stream open already.
If my laptop would have been open on the text,
maybe
would that have potentially been it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been.
Okay.
Who knows? But like all that to
even
say,
up until like this moment, I didn't actually. I didn't realize you saw the red receipt on.
That's what it was. That's what did it. And I walked in that house and I was like,
oh. Okay. I actually do. And now I understand the reaction more, but I don't want to take away from the story.
No. I'm just saying you do a really good job of saying, you know, that's a bit of an irrational response from me.
I think you coming home and wanting help outside bringing Bubs in and expecting me to do that, I think is a very, very fair and reasonable request.
Okay, I've got about 74 other examples I can give you.
Because I want to defend you on that one. Like now I think the delineation, if I read it and I didn't reply, I actually think like, no, that isn't okay. I didn't see the text. Like I had grease meat hands.
You couldn't have opened it.
Yeah.
Like I did understand that when I got to. Okay, here's another one. Okay. So the other day, you and the neighbor wanted to go get gas. Harrison will not fill up my car. It will go on E. We will like play chicken with this E. But if that caddy gets past halfway full, he's like, I gotta go get gas. He loves to drive it. So you and the neighbor decide you guys are gonna go get gas. They were having like a Sunday. These two boys. They were cooking together, watching football. So they're like, we're going to go get gas in the caddy. And I'm like, go get him. So he leaves. And I call him about 5 minutes later because I decided I had a craving for peanuts. So I was like, hey, when are you going to be home? And he's like, we're going to get gas and then I'll be home. I'm like, perfect. So they get the gas. I call him again and he didn't answer because Bubs was starting to wake up. So I call you again like 5 minutes later and he doesn't answer. What had happened in this time was the boys had looked at each other and they said, hey, do you think we have 15 minutes to take her for a spin? And they're like, yeah, totally. And when you're in this convertible, you actually can't hear your phone ring, nor do you ever really look down at your phone. Like you're not Bluetooth to the system. So I realize I'm like, it's been 15 minutes and he's not home yet. So then I convince myself you guys are in a ditch. So I call the neighbor wife and I'm like, hey, have you heard from the boys? She's like, no. And I'm like, well, they've been gone 15 extra minutes. And she's like, and she was so sweet. She was like, pregnancy anxiety. And I was like, yeah, can you just like figure out where they are? So she tracks them and she's like, okay, they're actually almost home. And I'm like, perfect. And he walks in the house and I'm like, you cannot not answer the phone. It had been 15 minutes, like zero of an issue. It was not an hour. And you were just like, you're right. I am so sorry that we were gone for 15 extra minutes. We just wanted to go for a spin. And that is like...
I just like, we have such a great feel for each other's like traditional day to day that I understand like that isn't how like that interaction would normally go down.
I don't care if you go to the bar and get lost for 4 hours. I just was like, where are you?
I've noticed like you really care about communication right now, and where I do want to take some responsibility is like you do want to know everything that's going on. And when I was traveling last week, like I was so on the ball with proactiveness.
My brain goes to these like crazy places.
And so this week, in Chicago, I'll do the same. And
like,
it was a reminder. And the funny thing about it is, had I told you what we were doing, so the added part of the story is we actually drove up Lamar to there's a ER that we were told is like the ER that you should go to in case something happens. There's one that's closer than St. David's North. Okay. And so we drove up to like understand where it is and understand what the drive-through is. So we're actually like doing something.
But Harrison,
family oriented.
In what world would you ever have to explain to me where you went? Like you go places for 3 hours. I'm like, I don't know where you are, nor do I care. But right now I'm like, well, where is he?
And can I tell a couple other funny things about the caddy? So
well, yeah, we haven't talked about it.
I'm just going to tease. So the way you fill the gas up in the caddy is through like the license plate at the back.
Oh, I love that.
And there's no like, there's no kind of
gauge to hold, so you have to hold it.
There's a couple things. Like you have to put half of it in so it lets the air out. If you just like put the whole thing in, it just like shoots back at you.
The gas does?
The gas does.
Crazy.
And you like watch it. So that's number one. So filling it up is like a pretty funny looking process. The second is the gauge, the fuel gauge on the car doesn't work.
So we're guessing.
My high school car, the gauge didn't work. And it cost like $900 to fix it. And I wasn't doing that when I was 17. And so I just would get gas like probably every other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're trying to time how often we need the gas. That's why we went together. And then the last piece is a little news update. On Friday, we are dropping the car off at the speaker place, and they are going to put in Bluetooth and speakers. So I
Bluetooth?
will be able to hear. So right now that it's an 8-track and the speakers are blown. And so like there's no real music situation. You got to like tinker to get the it's a 74 Cadillac Eldorado.
Music in that thing will be awesome.
And so you got to like tinker around with the FM radio, and it's super fuzzy and the speakers are always cutting out, but we're getting new speakers in, and we're keeping the 8-track original system, and then we're in another part putting in a new little radio where we can connect to Bluetooth and
Love it.
actually do radio.
Okay, I'm very
and
excited.
It's a 1-day job, so we're only losing it for the day.
Oh, phew, 'cause
Yeah.
we do not want Harrison.
My mom doesn't know about the car.
Oh,
So
I bet
want
she
it-
does. She sees my Insta stories.
But I don't think she like knows really about the car, so I'm very excited for her to ride in it. Hopefully,
She will love it.
yeah.
Your mom will love it.
So that was why I didn't want it, because we have a lot of work to do on it.
It is so
This thing is a
Harrison.
massive project.
Harrison is obsessed with this car. He got up Saturday morning. He said, I'm going to take Bubs. You just do your thing. And I'm like, okay, and then off you go in that caddy.
Bob's hair just ripping in the back.
She has a car seat. Don't even. She's fully safe. Guys, let's talk about Cozy Earth. You know I am obsessed with Cozy Earth. And guess what? It's cozy season. We're there. October, November, December, and then through the new year, it is cozy time. Cozy Earth's bamboo sheets are temperature regulating, guaranteed to give you a comfortable night's sleep. They're made from viscose from bamboo, so they naturally wick away heat and moisture from your body, helping you sleep several degrees cooler. Also, there's the bubble cuddle blanket, which we have in our basement on the couch where we cozy up downstairs and watch movies, and you will lose yourself in this luxury bubble cuddle blanket, I'm telling you. This blanket offers a combination of comfort and style with its distinctively textured bubble design, which is intricately woven from ultra soft fibers, showcasing an extended plush pile of mid-weight construction. It is so beautiful, you guys, and it is so cozy. Also, there's a 100-night sleep trial on the sheet, so try them out. Even if you don't love them, you can return them hassle-free, but I promise you will not want to. Also, you get a 10-year warranty, because once you feel this level of comfort, you will want it to last a decade. So head to CozyEarth.com and use my code 2parents for up to 20% off. That's CozyEarth.com, code 2parents. And if you get a post-purchase survey, make sure to let them know you heard about Cozy Earth right here, because home isn't just where you live, it's how you feel. Let's go home with Cozy Earth. Let's keep going on managing conflict. So one other thing that we do is, so number one, Harrison's really good at like validating and just separating Alex and hormones and just being like, you know what, that makes so much sense. And he'll just, I'm sure you're laughing internally. Sometimes you're just like, totally, 100% get it. The other thing we do is sometimes I can be a bit, okay, I'll just give a specific example and you guys can label the term of what this is. Nagging, perhaps. Harrison on Sunday, I was down for the count after the pumpkin patch. I got in bed at 1 and I did not surface until Monday morning. He did everything for Bubs. He cooked this prime rib situation. He made me like 4 or 5 meals. I had 4 or 5 plates in the bed at one point. He cleaned the kitchen. Okay, like it was a 8.5 out of 10 on the clean scale. Monday morning, I get up, I go downstairs, and the first thing out of my mouth is, the kitchen's kind of dirty. Okay. Very invalidating to somebody that just like did everything on Sunday. And what we've decided to do when that happens is Harrison says, do you want to retry that with the glass half full? Because to him, it can be a bit disheartening that he's doing all of this. But to me, I don't want him to be like, are you kidding me? Like, I did all this for you yesterday, because that makes me a bit more sad. So what we've landed on is like, let's redo it. And I like the word redo. He likes saying, let's go glass half full. And the second he said that, we both laugh. And it like totally disarms the situation. And I say, thank you for doing everything you did for me yesterday. And he's like, you're welcome. And I'm like, no wonder the kitchen's a little messy. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, no problem. And it totally reframes the situation. So the word is, let's redo that sentence. Not let's sit there and get in a fight about it. Let's just redo it.
This is totally a two-way dynamic, where when I miss the mark and you come to me and say, hey, can you redo that? For whatever reason, it isn't triggering.
It's not triggering.
I like saying glass half full. You like saying redo. But it's like, okay, like, hey, can I shift and adjust my my perspective. And I, a lot of the time, while a lot of the time we both can, I also think it's important to recognize sometimes like we don't, and we'll also double down and say like, no, like I am mad. And so it's almost like a way to reality check ourselves on, hey, is my outlook towards this situation fair? Or and I have a right to be annoyed or frustrated or upset, or am I just letting the day-to-day of life get to me, and I can look at this through a new light, a new perspective. And I think that like one way that I am very focused on living our life is, consistently putting wind in our sails. And one thing that Tom Pitts always says is you never want to take the wind out of someone's sails. And one thing I have specifically learned about you is you love when the wind is in your sails.
People do in general. So do you. Humans do. In
Yes.
general, it's a good rule of thumb for.
You love wind in your sails, and so it's important, whether pregnant or not, to always have that top of mind, and
But
always,
But I do think it's important. Like sometimes, why did I care about the kitchen? I don't know. But just the simple thing of you saying, let's glass half full that. And it's like, oh my God, the kitchen is messy. Not because Harrison sat down here yesterday and made himself 7 meals. Because he was doing Bubs, you were doing you and the neighbor, and you were doing my meals. And then probably by the time you put Bubs to bed, I don't know, I would assume you were exhausted. And the dishwasher was like, you did pretty good. Did pretty darn good. I got to give you that. And I just started picking.
It was a crumb issue.
Yeah, you don't see crumbs though, so it's fine. And so the fact that you said reframe instead of saying, are you kidding me? Because that would have blown up our day. But just saying, I was like, dude, yeah, total reframe. Thank you. So it's just a good thing that we've learned. It's one thing that we've talked about a lot is just like, let's try to not get in the argument about it. Let's just try to say, let's redo that really quickly. Because a lot of times the other person's like, no kidding, let's redo that. Because and your brain, like, it's happier when you go to the positive things. Do I need to care about the kitchen, or is there about 1,000 other things I could be grateful for? Probably 1,000 other things.
I really like this as a mindset and an outlook.
Even not pregnant though, I think in general for you and I,
I
it's
think
been a good communication tactic of redo, reframe.
Yeah.
Okay, can try that. Just on a side note, one thing I'm very excited about is our neighbor's birthday is tonight. And we have hired a chef to come to their house to make him a meal because it's a big birthday. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's a big one. And Harrison's out of town for his real birthdays. And being pregnant and having somebody come and cook the meal and clean it up.
I'm wearing a tuxedo.
I'm so excited.
What are you going to wear?
I'm dressed for the day. And probably tomorrow as well.
Okay. It's a great outfit.
Thank you. Shout out nudes, by the way. I'm 5'9" and these pants are long on me. So I will say, not an ad, but I would do that. Okay. I want to ask you now, how are you taking care of yourself during pregnancy? Because you're doing a lot of the heavy lifting. We do not need to disclaim that I'm making the child. I want to ask you, Harrison, what are you doing to make some time for yourself? Because that's always important.
Yeah. Priority one is like every day waking up and making sure I'm doing everything I can so that you are having your best day possible.
Which you do, but now go to you. And you do a great job.
And once that I see that things are covered there, then it comes to me. And, the workouts are very helpful. It's like as cliche as it is to say, getting out 4 or 5 days a week and getting them in is super, super helpful. I think a really unique dynamic is like our social life in Austin since we moved here has been like, it's been so much either couple time or family time. Mm-hmm. There hasn't been a lot of individual social time.
Our social life is intertwined.
Yeah. And so, when it comes to stuff out of the house, it's been like, I've rather than, if we have two couple friends who are going out for drinks or to watch a game, rather than just kind of being like, no, like I'm doing fifth wheeling, which has been hilarious. I'm going on some mandates.
You're being really social, and I'm really proud of you.
And I've found the spots that really work, and like just kind of looked at the new norm of schedule. It's like Bubs is asleep every night at 7:30.
And you on a Saturday night, you can go cover a lot of ground.
And past 5 o'clock is really like you're in bedtime.
Yeah, mine.
And so just having things booked at 7:38, and whether it's a dinner or
You're watching
going for a cold plunge and a sauna. So obviously, as I said, on the back of making sure things are good with you and at home, but being intentional, I guess, is a long story short of getting activities on the book. Because as we've said before, like you were also running our social calendar. And
but
so
you are social.
I'm social, but you ran the social calendar.
I picked what we did, but one thing we have to know about Harrison, my friends from home, like they know I am a social person. Harrison is more social than me. Your family is. You guys, you like to do things. When your mom comes in town, she's like, what are the concerts? Like you guys don't really sit still. You're very fun.
Yeah, I'm not a sit around the house type of person.
No, when you travel like this, you're go, go, go. It's one thing I love about you. But right now I'm like, oh, no. I truly am happy in bed. That is my happiest place.
Yeah.
And
I don't like sitting around the house.
No. So I'm really glad, and I'm great being in bed by myself. So when you put her down for bed, it's like, go.
Yeah. And
come home at 5.
I do thank you, one, for at this time, while the most important thing is you thinking of me in the relationship and encourage me to go and do things, and being great with your communication of like when you want me home versus when you don't want me home. Because by you saying like, hey, I'd love you to stay, I'd love for tonight to be you to cook. Like I'd love for tonight for you to be to cook me 2 to 3 meals, and I'm not going to want to talk, but I'm going to want to just watch movies and eat, versus a night of like, hey, honestly, just I'll eat what's in the fridge, go out and have fun. Like your clearness with what you want is been very, very helpful.
Well, that's another silver lining though, is I do know what I want. I know what kind of night I'm going to have. I know if my night's going to suck, or I know if my night's going to be like pretty good by about 5. Like last night I was like, this is a bad one. This one sucks really, really bad.
Yeah. And that you wanted me there for the suck.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of nights where I'm like, this is going to be pretty mild. I'm just going to watch TV and I'll be fine. And I can go downstairs and make food, because the food's the most important thing. I think we've nailed it. I think we move on. Before Skims, underwear was always an afterthought for me. I would focus more on what I was wearing on the outside and think that a new dress or a new jacket would make me feel my best. But you guys, Skims has truly changed the game. They've made me realize that the bra and panty I put on in the morning is actually what's defining what I'm wearing and the comfort. I'm wearing their strapless bra right now because my one with straps is in the washer. And I am telling you, even this strapless bra throughout the day today is so comfortable. I forget that I'm wearing it. I love their Fits Everybody collection. I love every single thing that Skims makes, you guys. It is truly made undergarments, something that used to not be, because they used to be so uncomfortable. You would get home and think, oh, I can't wait to take my bra off. Now you forget you're wearing one. You guys already know how obsessed I am with the Skims thong. So you guys, shop my favorite bras and underwear at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey, and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. Okay, things we DM'd. Would you ever hire someone to help name our baby? A San Francisco name consultant charges up to $30,000 to name your baby, and she's already helped over 500 parents do it, which is $15 million if you do the math on that. Her process goes way beyond nameless. She studies family history, mediates parental debates, and curates names that match your brand vibe.
Okay. So we've talked before about how there should be a test before you have a baby. I think question 1 on the test should be, can you name the baby yourself?
Yeah.
Between you as in your you and your partner, your family and friends. If you cannot name your baby between you, your family, and friends, I wonder how you're going to make all the other decisions. Are you going to ask this lady to come in and consult on what diaper brand you use?
I don't agree with you. I think it's cool. I think the price tag is absurd. I would pay $500 for somebody to dive into our lineages, ask us a bunch of questions. We wouldn't probably have debates, but then present a list of names. I assume she takes into account the last name and says, like, these two names would make sense with it. I would like that list, yes.
I think that naming your
do it.
child is such a emotional and sentimental experience. I feel very weird about outsourcing it. Like,
no, but my
getting
uncle,
feedback from friends and family, like, I love that. I love that, like, we have people putting stuff at us. And I love that it is being very, very accounted for.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Naming is fun.
Yeah.
And hard, though. And listen, Tate's middle name is Francis, which was both of our grandma's names, which is cool. Like, imagine if we went back 7 generations. There's probably another overlap.
I'm sure this lady just uses ChatGPT and is like running a big.
Well, $30,000.
Ordeal,
I would love to know
allegedly.
I would love to know the names that, like, a couple names she has come up with, and then I wonder if we'd be like, we could have done that, but we'll see. Alex. I met that guy the other day.
John.
His name was Alex. Is pregnancy harder than running a marathon every day? Scientists say growing a baby demands 2.2 times more energy than a marathon every single day for 9 months. It's one of the most intense things the human body can do. Your heart, lungs, and metabolism working overtime to literally grow a new life.
I love being able to quantify. I love when something like this comes out that quantifies how hard pregnancy is.
What feels really validating for me, and the other thing is this heart rate situation. Remember the other day I texted you and I was like, my heart is just going crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the problem is, but it's just pumping blood over time. And so it is nice to read things like that and then say, oh, that makes sense. It does feel like that, but I wasn't sure if that was real. I would never run a marathon, just to be clear. Like, that's just not, I am not a long distance runner. It's not my journey.
You will, my prediction is you will run a marathon in the next 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Haley's going to
challenging.
convince you to do it.
Who?
Haley.
Oh, your sister. I just didn't hear you say
She's
Haley.
done a couple.
I'm not a long distance runner. I know it's mental, but that's why I don't even want to do it, because then I'll run 7, like.
Can maybe reframe.
No, I have no desire. There's some things I have no desire to do.
Jules, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say now he said it on the pod, so you have to do it.
But I'm saying no. I'm saying no.
There's one of the, great lines of, like, I won't nail it, but the thing about, like, the worst thing about marathon runners is listening to them talk about running marathons.
Telling you about it? Oh.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate people that do it. I really, really do. I think it's, like, very physically and mentally taxing. I just know for me, okay, we had to run. If my high school volleyball coach sees this, he will laugh. We had to run a mile in under 8 minutes and 45 seconds to start on varsity in high school. I could never do it. I got a doctor's note 1 year. The other year, I did get it, but I had to have my best friend Tate, hits the name, she would run it with me. And, like, I would make it in, like, 8:30. I mean, barely make it. But this mile in under 8:30 was so hard for me.
I'm, like, very surprised. I would have thought you were fast.
I can sprint. I'm fast on short distances.
Would it be good content to have a sprinting race between Alex and I?
Yeah, right now
Right now, well,
in her state.
6 months after.
like when I was training
Debate.
for boxing, you should have seen, like, where I was able to get on my sprints, which is why I loved it, right? Because you're not, like, soccer, a nightmare for me. Running the whole field, no. But a short field, love it.
Well, one day that video will come out.
Of you and I sprinting. Well, there is that, I finally saw one where the guy couldn't catch the girl. It was the best. But the wife runs and they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the husband turns around and sprints after to see if he can catch her. He catches her every time. But there was one I saw on the beach and this chick was gone and he never caught her. And everyone was like, yep. Have you not seen this?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A lot of people do it with cops
Do you
if
know
their
my-
husbands are a cop.
Do you know my favorite trend right now?
What?
The this like the lunch break trend where it's like on my lunch break and seeing if I have a hidden talent so that way I don't need to go back to work.
They're
Yeah.
singing.
They are so good.
You guys want to try it out
Yeah.
right now?
Well, there's this Benson Boone video which talks about him like discovering he could sing. Like he didn't learn he could sing until something like 18 years old because he just never sang. And I thought it was like, other than David Littner telling me I had a bad voice in 6th grade, I don't think I've sung since then.
Oh, I tried.
What if I have the voice of an angel?
You let's hear it. Give us a song right now. What could we sing?
I loved Luke Combs.
But
Ain't No Love in Oklahoma.
Yep.
Thought of you doing that.
Thank you. Do you think you could sing right now?
No.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it either.
We'll spare people.
Yeah. Okay, well, we love you guys. Thank you for listening. Thanks for listening to another episode of Two Parents in a Podcast powered by Just Media House. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Stay connected on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at Two Parents in a Pod. Welcome to our home. Sorry it's so messy. New episodes Mondays and Thursdays.